Hey, have you ever thought about collecting all of something? Getting every last little thing to collect all of that something. Let's say dragon items. Released all the way back in 2002, the Dragon Sword and Dragon Axe was the beginning of it all. Years later, we would see such items as the Dragon Scimitar and Dragon Claws, which are now some of the most iconic items in the game. In 2023, there are more than 250 items containing the word dragon. That's a lot of items. So, why don't we do just that? Let's collect them all. Welcome to Dragon Man.
Visions of you.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dragon Man, a series where I collect every single item in the game containing the word dragon. I'm gonna make this pretty simple for you. We'll go through a couple of rules, restrictions, and maybe an exception or two, and then we can get started. Let's start with the rules and restrictions. Firstly, we'll be playing this account as an Ironman. Secondly, we will not be able to buy dragon items from any shops across Gielinor. That is, unless it's otherwise unobtainable from anywhere else. Now from here I want to make things a little bit more interesting. What I've done is divided the world map into 3 specific zones. Each zone will gradually be unlocked as we obtain every available dragon item within the unlocked zones. For now, I'll be keeping zones 2 and 3 a secret, but zone 1 will be discussed later in the video. For the last rule, I just wanted to make things just a little bit more challenging. That rule being that I cannot train defense through combat. This does mean we can train defense through quest rewards and experience lamps and anything like that. But that's all the rules I have, and as you'll see as the series progresses, it does make things rather interesting. I do, however, need to make 2 exceptions. They're not crazy, but it just allows me to progress the account reasonably. The first exception being that any items obtained from clue scrolls and the rare drop table will be considered passive unlocks. This is mostly because I don't want to be locked in zone 1 forever. And before anyone asks, lucky implings will also be a part of this exception. The final exception being that all dragon trophies obtained via leagues will be considered optional. Mostly because 3 of them are now impossible to obtain, and in any future leagues, I may not be in a position to actually commit the time required for it. Now, obviously, if that position changes, I'll absolutely go for it. And that's everything. If you have any questions or feedback that you'd like to leave me, please, in the comments below, let me know what you think. That's all the boring stuff out of the way. Now let's get started. Alright, so we're starting with a run to Varrock here, and there's one specific reason that I'll do this. Alright, welcome to the Varrock Museum. The first thing we will be doing is getting our 9 Hunter and our 9 Slayer that we get for free from doing this. Alright, so that is the museum complete. Let's get our experience reward from this bloke here. Excellent. 9 Hunter and 9 Slayer. That's exactly what we wanted. Now let's head back to Lumbridge, and we've got something else we need to do. Alright, we're going to be having our chat to Veos over here, and we're going to be completing X marks the spot. And we'll talk about that once I finish the quest. We've got some very specific reasoning behind what we're doing. We're just finishing up X marks the spot here. We should get a nice little reward that we can utilize for something very, very specific. There we go, there's the quest completion. We've got ourselves a nice beginner clue scroll, which we might go and do. But the most important thing about this quest is this experience lamp. Now, it only grants 300 experience, but that goes a long way in some circumstances. And for this specifically, and why we're doing it so early in the account, is for one reason: random events. So let's put this into Hunter. Perfect. That gets us all the way to 10 Hunter. Now that may seem insignificant, but training Hunter through random events is going to take a very long time. And so the fact that we can get through 10 levels means we've accelerated the time that it's going to take us to achieve our Hunter goal in a much shorter amount of time. But let's talk about Hunter. Better yet, why don't we talk about... Now, Zone 1 is a really interesting area to begin with. Within Zone 1, we'll have access to the free-to-play area and Entrana. Within this zone, we can obtain 55 individual dragon items. I won't bore you with the list of items, but some of them are really spicy. I'll take this moment to go through the key requirements and items that we'll need to get within this zone for us to then unlock Zone 2. I'll start with the biggest ones first, that being the Prince Black Dragon and the Draconic Visage to make the Dragonfire Shield. These have the lowest drop rate of any item in the area, which is going to take a bit of time. The other monster drop I need to mention is Dragon Boots. These require 83 Slayer. The rest of the items will be obtained through processing items and skilling. The big ones here being the Dragon Sapling requiring 81 farming, the Black Dragon Hide set requiring 84 crafting, and Dragon Darts requiring 95 fletching. Now there's a reason why Hunter is so important for all of these that I've mentioned. Unlocking the Hunter skill allows us to catch implings. Now implings add a bunch of new dragon items for me to collect, but it also saves me an incredible amount of time. The biggest time saves coming from Eclectic Implings and Dragon Implings. From Eclectic Implings we can get Wild Pies. With a Wild Pie we can boost 5 Slayer levels and save ourselves 1 million Slayer experience. And from Dragon Implings we can get Dragon Darts. With this drop, I don't need to train fletching to 95. So you can see why Hunter is such an important skill to train. I won't lie to you, training Hunter in our restrictions is going to take a long time, but it will certainly take far less time than it would be to get 83 Slayer and 95 fletching. So that's Zone 1. There is a lot more that we'll need to do, but we'll cover that as it becomes relevant. Alrighty, so I've just kind of completed that beginner clue because, well, we might as well. We could get something useful, like the magic starter pack that we needed, that we could have bought from the shop. Right, so I'm on my way to Draenor Village for a very specific purpose. I'm going to spend the first little while on this account setting up some things that I really should do so that I can save some time going forward. But for this area, we have to inevitably get 81 farming, or I think somewhere close, because we can get a garden pie from the Cooking Guild. Now, I don't really have a way that I can skip levels with like a quest or anything like that because of the restrictions of this zone. Normally, I would go and do the first part of Recipe for Disaster and do the goblin side, but I just can't do that. So we're going to have to start like anyone else did back in the day when they first discovered farming. We're going to become the most humble of humble potato farmers. So we're going to have a chat to Olivia here. We're going to grab some potato seeds. When we slowly walk over, grab all of those. We're going to grab some onion seeds as well. And we're just going to have to plant those bad boys and wait it out. So the first little goal that I'm going to work towards is 38 thieving. We just talked about being a humble potato farmer, but we will become much more than that. But for us to be able to plant other things, we have to be able to obtain those seeds. And the best way for us to do that is likely going to be, ooh, hey, it's Flipper. Let's see what Flipper's got for us. All right, let's see what pinball reward we get. 5 rubies. Ooh, that's very nice. We could probably sell those to a gem stall and get some extra cash for now, which is excellent. But anyway, as I was saying, the best way for us to obtain seeds is going to be master farmers. We need to have a constant flow of these seeds so that we can gain as much experience as possible to eventually hit our huge goal of 81 farming or something silly like that. So if I start now, I can just continuously farm throughout this and just, it'll make things so much nicer going forward. So got to start somewhere. Okay, we should be getting 10 thieving here, which is very cool. Looking at the experience I'm getting per hour here, we're getting probably about 10k experience, which is not terrible, but I think it is also the best experience I can get in my current restrictions. I'll try warriors when I get to level 25, but it's probably not going to be great. So we're just going to sit here for a good 3 hours, just clicking away, stealing this guy's tea, and he's not even looking at me. So it's fine. We'll get there eventually. But maybe warriors will be a little bit better. We do earn some money from that, but I also need food and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, we got ourselves 25 thieving here, meaning we can now pickpocket warriors. We're just going to go see if it's any good. This is terrible. This prison Pete random, and apparently you can get snapdragons from this, which is one of the items that we definitely need for our area. So maybe we can knock out the first one if we get really lucky. Which we, oh, we do. Look at that. That is our first dragon item obtained. And we're not even 100 total level, which is so good. There's the Granny Snapdragon. Unfortunately, it doesn't save us time for farming, but hey, I'm not going to complain that we've already knocked one out. That's pretty sweet. Cool, so we're almost done with the thieving. And as a celebration, the Quizmaster has graced us with his presence and given us a mystery box, which we're going to get. A flyer. How generous of him. Alright, this last tea stall will give us the 38 thieving. Very nice. Let's go steal some seeds from some idiot in a hat. It's going to be a great time. And before we go thieving, we'll just get in some nice little potato content with some nice living potatoes and some dead ones. And level 2 farming. What a huge milestone. We've got ourselves a little 40 thieving here, pickpocketing some seeds. We're getting a nice little collection in our bank, which is kind of nice. Should be enough for a little while now once I finish this inventory, and we can move on to something new, which, I don't know. Okay, so while I was at work today, I did a bit of farming, got ourselves in a pretty good position. This is a bit awkward. Let's see if we get the level from planting this seed, because I was planning on getting the level from the herbs that we got. Yeah, we should hit the level. Hang on. Level 15. Woo! One of the things that I need to achieve, at least relatively early, is 30 mining so I can start hitting up the Motherlode mine. The reason behind that is I'm going to have to train a lot of crafting. Regardless of what items I get from drops and all sorts of other things, I need 80 crafting. I can't boost it, I can't do anything, I'm just going to have to get it. So we're finally getting into some combat here, and we're going to be training our ranged. I think range, for the most part, at least until we start doing some of the end bosses that we need to do, is going to be our most powerful style, especially when we need to go and kill things like revenants and other slayer mobs in the wilderness for 83 Slayer. Having a magic short bow imbued is going to be pretty powerful in comparison to what would probably just be like a dragon longsword or something like that. So we're just going to get started on range. The other thing I want to do is keep my combat level as low as possible so that I can have some sort of decent damage output on revenants, while also not being able to be attacked by other players, just to reduce the risk of actually dying in the first place. I'm going to die to players. That's a known entity. We should be getting 15 range in a second from this feather boy. There we go. Whew. Range training is really slow at this stage. Like, wow. But as a result of doing some range training, we've got ourselves 18 cooking, 8 prayer, and 15 range, which is really cool. Now, it wouldn't be a trip through the security of Stronghold without getting our best in slot boots. We get the rainbow colorful ones. Excellent. Now we are complete. Oh boy, it's time for our first exam. Let's get some experience. All right, let's slap this bad boy into Hunter. We get 150 experience and level 11. Excellent. We just got ourselves 30 mining, which means we can head on over to the Motherlode mine. I think I might. No, I'm not gonna stay for 31. Motherlode mine allows us to start gathering some pretty cool resources to start training crafting and smithing and that sort of stuff. And also it's extremely low intense, so I can just relax. All right, friends, we have ourselves here a cute little mystery box. We're going to pop that open and get an onion. How poetic. Thank you for joining me for episode 1 of Dragon Man. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to sharing more of my adventures with you very soon. If you'd like to keep up with the series, slap the subscribe button to catch the next episode as soon as it arrives. And if you've really enjoyed yourself today, leave a like on the video and tell me in the comments below what your favorite dragon item is and why. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.